But the real concerns are Boulderthorn, the combat priests, the Zen Order, and the Soul Reapers. Oh, there's another person we must be careful of. Who? Abigail asked curiously. The young genius who recently gained fame after winning against Sir Augustus Klein. Emily gushed. What? Abigail blinked in surprise. Emily was referring to Dustin, right? Abigail looked at Dustin subtly. He replied by shaking his head discreetly. They needed to lie low during their journey to avoid being targeted. Miss Hoyles, have you ever met him? Azalea smiled mischievously. Of course not. But I've heard plenty of stories. Emily replied dreamily. Rumors say he's handsome and has a strong sense of justice. More importantly, he's only in his early 20s, but is already a grandmother. He's one of Valerno's rare talents and desired by many female martial artists. Emily's eyes glimmered with admiration. It was hard for any woman to resist the young genius. With a good body and extraordinary looks, you admire that man greatly. Miss Hoyles, Azalea checked, a knowing smile on her lips. She glanced at Dustin subtly, who was unfazed by her words. Who wouldn't admire such a genius? Emily replied nonchalantly, since she wouldn't have a chance of meeting that man. She didn't mind telling the truth to her new friends. Humph, he might be impressive, but I'm not that far behind either. Give me another 10 years, and I'll surpass him. Nathan interjected confidently, irritated after hearing his sister praise another man. Are you sure? Abigail studied Nathan skeptically. Believe it or not, Miss Robinson, I'm quite well known in Yeston. Ask anyone, and they'll tell you who the little dragon is. That's right, Nathan is an incredible person. Vanessa chimed in proudly. He's one of the top martial artists in Leicester, and ranks third in Leicester's Supreme 10. He's also a genius because he's already a divine-level martial artist. Nathan could handle 10 martial artists in this restaurant by himself with one hand. Several Azure Mist disciples joined in praise. Noah's nearly growing men excessive compliments, but Emily smiled and stayed quiet. Her brother might be talented, but he was nowhere near the young prodigy's level. Still, she wasn't foolish enough to pop his bubble of pride. Is that so? You sound quite talented. Abigail nodded innocently. Still new to the martial world, she wasn't familiar with how things worked yet. She could only judge that. Nathan was an impressive individual based on his popularity and nickname. Both of you should stay close to me when we enter the forest tomorrow. I'll protect you, Nathan promised, patting his chest confidently. Suddenly, a wine bottle crashed into his forehead. Wine splattered everywhere, and blood flowed down the side of his head. What? Nathan was caught off guard by the sudden attack. He touched his forehead, and blood coated his fingers. Without his energy armor, his body was slightly stronger than average.